Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video we will see the pilot and deploy Microsoft Defender XDR, how it is done, what are the steps, what is the sequence that you should apply. I'll open up my whiteboard. I'll create a new blank whiteboard. All right. Okay. Now, the steps you will see will guide you through the entire process of piloting the components of Defender XDR. Okay. Where do you install Microsoft Defender XDR? You install it in your production tenant so you can evaluate their features and capabilities, and then completing the deployment across your organization. Right now, XDR is the extended detection and response. Okay. Make sure that you remember this. XDR is extended detection and response. It is a solution which is a step forward in cybersecurity because it takes the threat data from systems that were once isolated and unifies them so that you can see patterns and act of suspected cyber attacks faster, right? So it is an XDR solution that combines the information on cyber attacks for identities, right? So it would have identity, it would have endpoints. Now you will recall that that's why you have Defender for identity, Defender for endpoint. It would cover your email and cloud apps. Okay. And it has this all in one place, right? So that's why you call it Microsoft XDR solution. Now it will leverage artificial intelligence and automation, right? So it would have automation and artificial intelligence to automatically stop some types of attacks and remediate affected assets to a safe state. This is a cloud-based unified pre and post-breach enterprise defense suite. Okay, so you remember cloud-based, enterprise defense suite. All right. Now it contributes to a strong zero trust architecture. I'll explain it how. All right, because it provides threat protection and detection. Now, if you know the Defender for XDR components, as I already discussed, you have Defender for identity, you have Exchange Online Protection, you have Microsoft Defender for Office 365, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps, Microsoft Entra ID Protection. I want to show the architecture and integration of Microsoft Defender XDR components. I'll make a small diagram. Okay. Let me remove this. All right. Now, let's say this is the Defender XDR. All right. You have this incidents that would come. Okay. And then you have the automated response. Okay. To stop the attacks. And then you have self-healing of compromised devices. Will discover this in detail as well. And then you have cross-product threat hunting. And then you have threat analytics. Okay. And then all of these are sending the shared signals. receiving the shared signals from Defender for Office, Defender for Identity, Defender for Endpoint, Defender for Cloud Apps, and Microsoft Entra ID protection. Okay, so when a mail will come, my Defender for Office protection will come into place, and when a user sign in through Entra ID, okay, and then let's say we have on-prem integration through ADFS, ADDS or certificate services, they will interact with and send signals to Defender for Identity through the login. And then you have the devices which would work with my Defender for Endpoint. And then you have Cloud App traffic which would deal with my Defender for Cloud Apps. And Defender for Entra, the login through Microsoft Entra ID would come under Entra ID protection as well. Okay. Now, if you'll see the detail, Defender XDR combines the signals from all the Defender components to provide XDR across domains. Now, it will have an incident queue, automated response, as I mentioned, self-healing, cross-product, and threat analytics. Now, Defender for Office 365 safeguards the organization against malicious threats posed by email messages, links, and collaboration tools. And then Microsoft Defender for Identity gathers signals from ADDS domain controllers and servers running ADFS or ADCS. It will use these signals to protect the hybrid identity environment, including protecting against hackers that use compromised accounts to move laterally across workstation. Okay. And then you have Defender for Endpoint, gather signal from and protect devices. Defender for Cloud Apps, which would gather signals from the organization's use of cloud apps and protects data flowing between the IT environment and these apps. Microsoft Entra ID protection, which would evaluate risk data from billions of sign-in attempts and uses this data to evaluate the risk of each sign-in to the tenant. And if you would see the Defender integration, Defender XDR components and SIM integration. All right. Now you can continue this diagram. Okay. You take all this. Okay. And use Sentinel. And use Microsoft Sentinel connectors. If you don't know, please watch my Sentinel series as well. And you can have the SIM data being ingested into the Microsoft Sentinel because it is a cloud native solution that provides SIM and security orchestration, automation and response capabilities. Microsoft Sentinel and the Defender XDR. Right, so it would be XDR from MS plus Sentinel provides a comprehensive solution to help organizations defend against modern attacks. Because Sentinel will include connectors from Microsoft Defender components, and this will allow us to not only gain visibility but or to also get sophisticated analytics to identify and combat cyber threats. So, now the pilot and deploy process for Microsoft Defender XDR. Okay, so if I just delete it and share the recommended enabling of the components of Microsoft 365 Defender in the order. Now, first would be that you want to start the pilot. First thing is always taking a start. Okay. Now, what else will you do? First of all, you will make sure that you are deploying Defender for identity. Then you deploy Defender for Office 365. Okay. Then you have the Defender for Endpoint. Okay. And then you have Defender for Cloud Apps. And then after using the features, you can investigate if an issue comes and respond to threats. Okay. Start the pilot and deploy Microsoft Defender components, Defender for Identity, Defender for Office, Defender for Endpoint, Defender for Cloud Apps, and then practice the incident investigation and response. Now, this order is designed to leverage the value of the capabilities quickly based on how much effort is typically required to deploy and configure the capabilities. For example, Defender for Office 365 can be configured in less time than it takes to enroll devices in Defender for Endpoint. So you have to prioritize the components to meet your business needs. Okay, now, so Microsoft recommends you start your pilot in your existing production subscription of Microsoft 365 to gain real-world insights immediately, and you can tune settings to work against current threats in your Microsoft 365 tenant. And you can anytime set up your Microsoft Defender XDR trial lab environment. For that, you have to set up your Microsoft Defender XDR trial in a lab environment, and you have to create a Microsoft 365 E5 trial tenant. It would ask details, name, password, verification process, and make sure that you are aware of how to use the Microsoft 365 E5 trial licenses. If you do not have Microsoft 365 E5 M1 and you want to take advantage of Microsoft 365 E5 trial licenses for your pilot, make sure that you sign in with your existing Microsoft 365 tenant administration portal and you click on purchase services. I'll try to do that in my next video, wherein we talk about and see how is to deploy these products. Okay, and then we'll deploy Defender for Identity, Office, Endpoint, Cloud Apps, and see how it goes, and then I will try to cover the Defender XDR features, okay, one by one. So I hope this was informative for all of you. If you still have any queries, please mention them in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.